Death Guard have just been announced. They will be given, of course, the new Codex with the Coming of Nights edition, but just before the end of the year. So I decided to have a quick talk about what units are probably going to be good, what units won't be so good, who are the winners and losers, and how you should be playing your Death Guard moving into 9th edition and the new Codex. Now, first off, with troops, Chaos Quarters, they're still not going to be too important. Of course, you'd usually take them Chaos Space Marines if you're going to have them anyway. So, Poewalkers. Now, Poewalkers came out sort of last edition, came with a new edition really badly, and it doesn't look like going to be any buffed at all. I think they thought they were a bit too good in the new edition. I'm sorry, but I don't think you'll be able to give much hope for them because they've been put up a point. There's not been any announcements towards making them better, and they were given a few things as was a spy that they thought might be quite good, but in reality they weren't that good. And unfortunately, I think Poewalkers will still be quite bad. However, Blade Marines should be a lot better. Of course, getting the second wound is the big thing, and unless they double in points, they're still probably going to be worth it because 2-wound troop choice that can stay around to the end, and even if only do a little bit of damage, it will be quite good. That is, of course, the problem, only a little bit of damage, because even if 3 up save, 2 up in cover, T5, 2 wounds, that's resilient, you're literally just firing bolt guns for the majority of them, and although they might have upgrade, I don't think it's too likely that they get like a plague bolt gun, and even then, it still won't be too great. So I would probably put Flail of Corruptions on them in the new edition, and I think that will be what the meta will be going with, because the problem is now that you're not going to put 30 points onto a 5-man squad that's going to die easily, but that won't be a problem in later edition. I think they'll be their sitting objective staying to the end with Flail of Corruptions and maybe a plasma gun or two, and just be useful in that way. So I think Flail of Corruption will be really good because you're putting out quite a lot of attacks, particularly if you are against Imperial units, because then you get Death of False Emperor, which of course triggers an extra D3 attacks. Really nice. You're doing carrying damage and strength 6. It sort of works for everything. Really useful weapon, and will be doing a lot of damage the whole way through the game. So I think that's what Plague Marines will be good with, and Plague Marines will still be very good, and they will be winners, although Poewalkers will be unfortunately losers. As to HQ choices, Lords of Contagions have been pretty rubbish in addition. They're not going to get better because 120 points just for a melee unit. They're not going to be given a gun because that will change the unit, and I think otherwise they'll just become too much like Lord of Virulence, and I don't see these being really useful at all. And I think even if you just want melee HQ choices, you will probably go for Lord of Virulence because it's probably going to have an aura, probably not going to be too much more, and will also have a gun. Yes, so of course Lord of Virulence will be very good. They have hinted and said that it will probably be helping demon engines have some sort of aura. We're not too sure what, but that should be quite useful, and I think that will be quite good. Malignant Plaguecasters will stay decent. I think for HQ choices, Demon Princes, they're probably not going to be better, although they are already quite good. So if you were to buy any, I buy Malignant Plaguecasters, but I wait till the new edition and spend the money on the Lord of Virulence because I think that is going to be a very good option. Moving on to Elites, Terminators are getting an extra wound. So as for Blight Lord Terminator, that's really good because often you'd be spending like 50 a Terminator for a 2-wound model, which would be really annoying. And even with the 2-up save, 4-up invuln, 5-up feel no pain, 3 wounds will make it a lot better, and you can have a melee, shooting, and durable unit all in one. It's going to be really good, and I would certainly get some Blight Lord Terminators. They're going to be really nice in the new edition. As to Death Shrouds, they're not going to be as good for melee. I think they're already a bit lacking out with the extra points, but they will probably be better for bodyguard because they'll get an extra wound, and I don't think they'll be 50% more. They're not going to add an extra half of their original cost, so they will be useful because they're going to be more resilient for the cost, of course, because that's how it's going to work, because of course they've already got the melee options. So I think they're going to be better for bodyguard, unfortunately not quite as good for melee. So I think particularly with lots of auras, with all the wars, the spider stuff, and the Lord of Virulence having a demon engine helping aura, they're going to be wanted quite a bit, and you're going to be having them probably just one squad. Bodyguards help the characters in the center, and then maybe at the end do a bit of damage in melee. That's what they're going to be used for in the new edition. Foul Blight Swarm will stay great, and all the other elites will stay decent as they are. I don't really see any big changes. As for demon engines, the Mephitic Blight Haulers will be a lot better because their multi-melter is going to have a second shot. Now they'll no longer have the problem with inconsistency, only having 2 shots for a 100-point model, because that's going to be 3 shots, do quite a lot more damage. And although they will be up quite a bit in points, it will be really nice, particularly if the Lord of Virulence has a Ghidorah that helps them. And of course, they're already really good, only 100 points. So Mythic Blighthall is certainly one to look out for. They're going to be very good. And Fated Bloat Drones, they're not great. They're good for getting side objectives quite early on, going quickly down the wings with 10 inches and fly keywords. They're not going to really benefit if Lord of Virulence gets Nora, because of course they're going to be on the side, but they should still be quite decent and probably still worth keeping in your army. So not particularly brilliant, but they will be mediocre. Plagueburst Crawler, heavy support, I don't see much changing. Plagueburst Crawler, of course, might get a bit of buff from the Lord of Virulence. We, of course, still don't know what this buff is. I would, of course, get Plagueburst Crawlers as usual, but don't particularly look forward to any of them. I don't think anything I'm going to get big buff or a big nerf. Plagueburst Crawler is still the best, probably followed by the Defiler. They're all still quite decent. Then as to Lords of War, Mortarion, he's not going to get better, not really going to get worse. Quite good as it is, and the Death Shrouds having that extra wound will really help him. So probably keep him in your list. He will still be quite decent, but nothing to particularly look forward to. Don't change whether you're going to get him or not because of the new Codex. So that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm Andrew from AOTC Studio, but for now, bye.